Fantastic. Well, we are live here with Callan Young. Hopefully you've had the absolute honour of hearing him play at a friend's, perhaps your very own wedding. Callan, how are you doing?
Hi, Pete. The Celebrant, thank you very much for having me on. I am doing quite well. Good afternoon or good morning to your listeners. It's an interesting question, how are we doing? It's almost a multi-part answer, isn't it? Today's been great. It's been amazing. Set the scene, it's been 20 degrees, good surf. But the past 6 months for us in the wedding industry has been a challenging time, that's for sure.
That it has. And we were just talking earlier, for one, you actually get to go to the beach because you're down Geelong way, which is awesome. But you're more than just a muso. You're more than just a great voice, and you've got the looks, you're the whole package. But you've got a brain. What else do you do?
I do. I have a day job, or as Mum would call it, a backup job. I'm a civil engineer during the week, Monday to Thursday. So taking care of the roads and drains for the Surf Coast Shire. An absolutely wonderful job, and that allows me to have this awesome wedding career, as well as having a Monday to Thursday job where I can go in and help my community to thrive.
What a guy. You care about the community. You can sing. You probably write ballads. Are you taken?
I am. I've got a lovely girlfriend, Alana, who's out for a surf at the moment, so she's not in the background. Happily taken.
You guys, of course you're taken. Snapped up like that, I bet. Well, tell us a bit about... I'm interested to hear about how you became a muso and why you got into the wedding industry scene.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting path. I suppose when I was, 10 or 11, my old man gave me my first guitar for Christmas. Best birthday present ever. It's a Maiden guitar, and it's still one that I play today. So it's been with me every single gig.
Wow.
And then down the track, I became a singer when I started at public school. That was an interesting decision as well. So I never had the guts to sing while I was at, private school. Never had the guts to sing while I was at a public school. But then when I changed it over to the Geelong College, I was a bit more accepted there. So I took up singing. And then when I started uni, I got offered some paid gigs down in Apollo Bay on a Saturday night. And I remember those times fondly. I couldn't believe it. They were offering $300 for me to travel down and play for 3 hours and coming home. So as a 19-year-old, that was a hell of a job.
That's living the dream.
It really was. I had a girlfriend at the time who she would come down with me quite often, but she got quite sick of me listening to me play. So she'd often just sleep in the car, which was, it's really fond memories. And then things just progressed while I was playing these venues, and couples would often come up to me and say, "Hey, would you like to play at our wedding?" And then I discovered that, no longer were you playing at these venues where you could be playing to nobody, or, you're playing to just the barflies. Suddenly you're in this environment where you've got 100 people, they're in their best dress, they're having a couple of drinks and having a great time. And so from there, I just fell in love with it. It's a great community. There's happy couples. It's a really enjoyable job.
Cool. It's really interesting. So I started out just doing the sort of the bar gig thing, and then got into weddings. So has this now, roughly how many weddings do you do per year?
So I think for the past couple of years, I've hit my magic number. And I think a lot of vendors sort of have their own magic number. Mine's about 40. So that keeps me happy, and you don't suffer from any burnout. There is a couple of years ago, I was doing a couple more than that, but I found that sweet spot where I still get to enjoy my weekend somewhat, but also having a sustainable business.
Yeah, I think that's really important, particularly when you're doing another job on top of this as well. You've got to find that sweet spot and that number for you that works, that you actually enjoy what you're doing and that you don't get burnt out. So.
Yeah, and I think if you're happy, you actually do a much better job. I find the happier I am, the more I'm enjoying it, and the more the couples and the audience are enjoying it too. Have you found that sweet spot? Where are you at, Pete?
That sweet spot. So last year was I think I did 83 weddings, and that was the most
Ooh.
I'd done in a year.
In demand.
I didn't, well, trying. I didn't feel like it was too much. I wonder if, like, I don't know how many more you can squeeze. Like, you can do more, but it's probably for me wanting to do maybe around that, or maybe even just a bit under, just to make sure that the quality, because it's got to be like you have to make sure you bring quality to each and every one. It can't be like, I'll be really good for this and not that great for this. And I enjoy emceeing, but I won't take on too many MC gigs, because if I do, a wedding and then MC, and I've got another wedding the day after and I'm wrecked, like, what am I drawing upon to make sure that my energy is at that same level for that next wedding? So
yeah, 100%.
I'm still finding that number for myself. Yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's a process.
Yeah, it's good. So tell me about how couples find you. Like, are you with with like an easy wedding sort of thing, or how do people find you? Or are they still finding you at different gigs? Or
The public gigs have really slowed down. I think I've given myself some time just to have the night off if I'm not playing a wedding. So there's two ways that people find me. It's usually a recommendation from a friend or a photographer or even a celebrant. That's the number one way. I'm sure you collect your own data as well, but I find that word of mouth has just been huge for me, which I'm quite proud of. It means I'm doing a somewhat decent job.
Yeah.
And then when they jump on the website, they just see a young bloke with a guitar on the beach, and it's the brand. They've got someone that's hopefully similar to themselves, or after a more casual style wedding, and they just want someone that can do both. I think can do both the acoustic and serenade you throughout the day, and look after all your Powderfinger and Coldplay songs and a bit of Chris Isaac, and then work your way into your R&B dance floor bangers, the bogan bangers. It'll take you through to 11 o'clock, as I call them.
Yeah, cool.
So it's people that just want that mix of the live and the DJ.
Oh, so you do DJing as well?
Yeah. So when I started out, I just was doing the ceremonies, and that suits the acoustic music. And there are a couple of musicians that will get through the entire night just by banging on the guitar and singing their loudest. But I switch over to DJ from 9 o'clock and just get the party going, because I find that once you've had a couple of drinks under your belt, you really want to get the thump of the DJ music and get up and dance to your favorite tunes. Yeah,
I actually thought you were mainly on like an acoustic, but you just do everything. Jeez.
Yeah, I do. That's my main sort of gig, but it's just an extra feather to your cap, or string to your bow.
Yep, I hear you. What style would you say? Like, are you like, what are you best at? What type of music?
In a couple of words, I'd say I do Triple J covers. So I'm along the lines of Ziggy Alberts and Kyle Leinhardt and those sort of artists. They're the people I listen to. So that's the music that I love. I love to play live. And then I suppose a lot of my influence comes from what my parents used to listen to as I grew up. So that's a bit of Chris Isaac and Radiohead. Well, my old man loves Black Sabbath as well, but that doesn't sneak out too much.
Sure. Keep that one tucked away.
Yeah,
cool. But I imagine as a musician, you play everything. Like, your repertoire is, you've got heaps of stuff in the bag to pull out.
Yeah. You've always got your favorites, but then there's songs that sneak in. Like at the moment, you'll play a bit of Dance Monkey, but who knows where that'll be in a year or two's time.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, and then often couples will ask me to learn a song or two for them as well, which I'm happy to do, as long as it's not something outrageous.
Yeah, cool. Take us through the process. So a couple finds you, say a celebrant recommends you or a venue recommends you. You then normally meet up, or do you?
Sometimes when I'm playing a public gig or at a venue, I often invite my couples along to that, and that's great for the venue as well as myself to sit down and have a wine between sets. So when I play in public, we usually do 3 45-minute sets, and that gives me 20 minutes in between playing songs to sit down, have a drink or even a meal with the couple.
Yeah.
And then they'll jump on the website to fill out exactly what they want. So might just be the ceremony, or it might be just the reception, or it could be the entire day. So sometimes it could be from 2 p.m. through to 12 a.m. at night and through to midnight. So there's a bit on offer there.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. So you meet with them, and once they say yes.
Yeah. So once they say yes, I'll send them through a run sheet they can fill out. That just helps guide their song choices, what they might like to do.
Sure.
And it guides them to sort of how I think the night should run from a music perspective. Generally, I'll take them all the way through to their first dance, which is around 9:30 for your typical Australian wedding.
Yep.
And that's usually acoustic, and you've got everybody up and about. And then you switch into that DJ mode. You've got a banger ready to go, and away goes the night.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. One thing I want couples to really be able to grasp, particularly couples who, it's their first time, freshly engaged, they're organizing everything. You just don't know what you don't know. But for those of us in the industry, we see so many different things that sometimes we might see the same, I don't want to say mistake, but you see the same decision being made over and over, and you think if they just did it this way, it would just take the stress from them, or it would just look better, or it would sound better. What do you wish a couple would know?
Yeah, so the main thing that I think some couples do wrong is they go for the multi-venue wedding. They'll have it somewhere early, maybe lunchtime at a beach or a different venue at a church. And then there'll be this awkward 4 or 5 hour gap before you head back to the reception. And I think as a guest, it makes it a really long day. So by the time you actually do start to sit down and mingle and have a drink with your family and friends again, I think just that multi-venue and the early early ceremony is not the best choice.
Sure. Yeah, no, I hear you. And I think before, I guess, going into the wedding industry, getting wedding invites, you'd see that's like that, like you said, that midday ceremony. And then you see 4 to 5 hours later, you've got the reception. You're like, that's the whole day.
What are we doing?
Yeah. That's just gone. It's like, and that's fine. Particularly if you love them, you want to go, which is hopefully that's why people come to your wedding. But it's a big day. And I think
actually then it leaves like 4 hours of photos together.
Yeah, that's a lot of photos to get.
That's a lot of photos.
Two memories come to mind. So one is for photos. When Briggsy was talking about what he does with couples, he was saying that he really needs just that 20 minutes with the sun going down to just get some killer photos. He's like, as long as I've got that 20 minutes, I can take some awesome shots. He's like, I'll get great stuff throughout the day, but those 20 minutes are just going to be the perfect lighting. And then Anthea mentioned in hers, when we were talking about wedding venues, do you know Anthea from the Farm Yarra Valley?
Oh, I love the Farm. Yes.
Yep, the Farm.
I'm a fan of Anthea as well.
Yep. So one thing that she said was, her recommendation was to couples to finish a little bit earlier, rather than trying to stretch it out until that, 12 o'clock. It's people are getting tired. Like, it's a big day in itself. Even if you have the ceremony start at 3 or 4, and then maybe like an hour of canapes, and then go into reception, that in itself is still a long time, particularly for those who are a little bit older. And it's like some of your friends, they'll be there the whole night, no matter what. Like, you've poured the booze, they're not going anywhere. The bangers are playing. They're there.
I'm there.
Cal's there. He's having fun. The girlfriend's sleeping in the trunk, but she's fine. Sure, she's just enjoying it. But one thing she was saying is keep it a bit shorter. And one thing I've noticed when emceeing is around that, it's normally after the cake or after speeches, you'll normally get 1 or 2 drop off. Not maybe like parents with the babysitter have got to go. But by that sort of 10:30, there's almost a steady line of people slowly going up to the couple to say their farewell rather than staying the whole night. And I kind of got that. I was like, yeah, it would make sense if you start the day a bit earlier and you end a little bit earlier. you'll actually have everyone there for the entire thing. Rather than spend the last hour, instead of dancing, you'll spend it saying goodbye to those, like, oh, I'm so sorry, we've got to go. And that might not be true for every wedding. Some people might stay there to the very end, and some weddings in some countries go for like 6 days, but not ours. not in Australia.
Not ours. Lucky us.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So, any other, I guess, top tips? Maybe specifically with music. So, when it comes to ceremony music, what are your thoughts? What are your recommendations? Are there some songs that you just say that's a bad choice, or that you might recommend this one over the other if they give you some options? And are there any reasons for that?
Yeah. With choosing a song to walk down the aisle to, I'd say go for a classic, or go for some song that means a lot to you. Don't just go for the most recent Ed Sheeran song, because that's going to age a lot quicker.
Sure.
And then I've had couples that have requested, or just one that just came to mind when you were talking about what songs not to play. I remember a couple that asked me to play Daryl Braithwaite's Horses while they finished their ceremony and rode off into the sunset on horses along a beach. And that was a wedding that I was unavailable for, unfortunately. And pass that one on to someone else. But good luck to them. But in choosing a song, it just has to be something that's special to you. And the other tip that I would have in terms of music is, for your first dance, don't be too concerned about getting the exact right dance moves. I think as long as you're staring into your partner's eyes, holding them, swaying a bit to the beat, that's a lot more honest and genuine than trying to remember, hang on, does my left foot need to do 2 steps back and now?
Sure.
Or, the couples that never danced before and they're off getting dance lessons, don't stress too much about it. If you're having fun and looking into your partner's eyes, it's going to be great.
Yeah, true. And even if someone gets a dance move wrong or puts their leg left instead of right, and you have a laugh about it, I think people will feel more involved. Like, it's something for everyone to go, oh, I didn't get it right, but like, damn, they're doing awesome. Like, they're giving it a go.
Good on them, because it can be quite an intimidating experience, I think, for people that have not done that before, to be up in front of everybody that you know and love and are friends with, to be dancing in front of them for the first time. It's a big moment.
Yeah, for sure. Grace and I did the I don't know what you call it. I feel like calling it the poor man shuffle, but we didn't attempt to do any sort of choreographed dance. It was literally just doing that little sway back and forth. And I don't know how everyone else felt about it. I thought it was awesome. I had heaps of fun.
Nice.
Yeah. And that for me, that was really nice, not to have to stress about doing a big dance number. Not a dancer in the slightest, which probably, my mom's a ballet dancer, or she teaches ballet. So probably she doesn't want to hear that, but I'm definitely not a dancer at heart. I didn't get that gene from her. That
does surprise me. I did think you would be a dancer.
Well, I talk a big show, the dancing, but no.
So it's all about getting to that 90-second to the 2-minute mark, and then getting your friends and family in, or your wedding party, and just get through and survive that bit, and then get everybody involved.
Yeah. One thing I'm interested to hear your thoughts on, in terms of live music, from just thinking just for the ceremony, just for that walking down, live music opposed to someone playing a song, from a phone.
Yeah, I think there's nothing better than live music. I might be a bit biased as a musician and particularly a supplier, but just having something that's unique. That performance has only been done once like this, is not going to be, as you put on a bit of, let's go back to Ed Sheeran, everyone's heard it before. This is a special moment, and this is bespoke, and this is it's almost a chance to brand yourself as a couple, isn't it? This is who you are, and this is what you enjoy, and you've got something bespoke and unique in your hands. Yeah, you really don't like Ed Sheeran, do you? You've really got to fight against him. No, he's getting a bad rap. I shouldn't be too cruel on him. He's got some catchy songs. No, I get it. We all love Sheeran. We've just heard him a lot. Yeah, we do. And it's just one of those things that he writes songs for weddings, and that's a bit of a cliche, but cliches are true for a reason. Yes, they are.
From one thing I've realized when doing ceremonies, there is a difference between, for what I say this, and it's pretty much the same line for musos and for friends just pressing play on a phone, is I'm going to do the intro and I'm going to finish on the words, "Let's begin." And that's my realizing the cue between someone on a phone pressing play and someone there live playing. Even in that split second, there's a difference, because someone pressing play, they might be ready, they might hit play, and the song might have a gap. And there's just like this pause of just nothing, silence. And that pause can sound, go for a long time. And opposed to some, like yourself, I just, look at a live musician, like as soon as I look at you, we're on.
Good to go. You've got your hands ready, the chords ready. And it's the same thing as you fade out. The walk might take 2 minutes, or it might take 90 seconds or 1 minute. But as a musician, you can learn to fade out or repeat the chorus if you need to. And usually time it just right. And you give them a little bit of time down the end of the aisle too to settle into what's about to occur in that special moment.
Yeah. And I think that we all like to think that the walking down the island, probably 90% of the time, it is flawless, perfect, nothing ever happens. Sometimes, there are kids, maybe the couple's got a kid and the kid wants to like run out and get involved, or the kid, we've all seen that they get to the aisle and they just freak and they don't move, and they just stop. And it's almost like if you've timed everything to the T, not everyone's going to make it down there in time. But like you said, a live muso we can keep this going all day.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We got the longest aisle walk in history. We can do it.
We can do
with this loop. We got an endless amount of choruses to sing.
Cool. Is there anything else you'd like to say in terms of, I guess, for couples, helping them pick, maybe picking songs, deciding between maybe not just the music, but also between a musician, or choosing between having their friend just press play? Any top tips, top thoughts?
Top tip is there's nothing that beats live music. I think that just is the perfect sort of atmosphere for weddings in particular, but any event is better with live music. In terms of planning a wedding, I'm not married myself, so I can't imagine how difficult the process is for couples, but I think just pick your tribe based on your vibe. So if you're going to be spending your entire day with your celebrant and photographer, musicians, videographers, whatever, just pick the people that you think you're going to have a good time with, and you'll know if they're good at their craft. I think the number one thing is pick some people that match your personality. And there's some people out there in the wedding industry, just absolute gem human beings. We've only done one wedding together, Pete, you and myself, but
it was a magical
I know we had a lot of fun. We did. We connected straight away.
Yeah, we did. Well, we first met. It was at Jess and Ben's down at, I'm thinking
the bathhouse, wasn't it?
It was a bathhouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just missed the Christmas party that the Celebrants had all been to, and you were there. So we were just starting going, oh, you know this person? Oh yeah, you know this? Oh yeah. Realized we know everyone, like the same people. But it was great. It was
really nice, and that party was really based around community. And I think that's what the wedding community is. It's not just everyone out for themselves. I think everyone comes together, and what a job that we actually get to go out and you'll be hanging out with some people that are really driven and motivated and lovely, and you'll be sitting down having a drink and a meal with them, and you'll be thinking, what a job! This is awesome.
Yeah. This is partly why I've started this podcast. Like, I want to help couples and I want to help their planning. But I don't get to see anyone in this wedding industry anymore. It's like, normally you see the same people here, same people there, at least once or twice out of the year. And I'm just like, I'm not going to see anyone. So this has been a great way to catch up.
Yeah, exactly right. And there are those people that you end up, because your vibe is similar. You do, myself, I do more casual weddings in and out of the Surf Coast and also out in the Yarra Valley. So I'll see Briggsy quite a bit. I know he's been on your podcast and did a great job of it. So Briggs and I'll see each other maybe 6 or 7 times throughout a season.
Yeah.
We've got our little traditions and
what's that? I'm curious now.
the tradition is that he'll usually steal my guitar for a song, and yeah, it just becomes a Briggsy show just for a couple of minutes, and then
Sure.
he goes off and he does his thing on the camera again.
Yeah.
But yeah, the top tip is just get some good people that match your vibe, I think. And there's some incredible people doing some wonderful work, and yeah, yourself is amongst them, and just I listen to Celebrants. They've seen it all before.
Cool. Awesome. Cal, thank you so much for coming on. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're doing well during this time. And man, I can't wait to do another wedding with you.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. Who knows when that will be. Thank you so much for having me on. Bring it on. And 2022, 2021, who knows?
Come on. I guess let's finish on. How do people find you?
Yes. So it's Callan Young Music on Instagram, and the same for the website.com, or just Google it. Google will get you there.
I'll put those in the notes of the episode as well.
That'd be great.
Cool.
Thanks, Pete.
Cool. Thanks, Cal. And thank you so much for listening, everyone. I hope you're having a great day, night, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next episode. Bye.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.